So let's go against Cello Blue once again. Playing my pet Ruy Lopez here. Going to castle. Well, actually, I gave him this kind of line to play with. H3 and D4 is here the main move. Rook E8, the last book move. So let's figure out the position. Of course, I don't want to go B5. Why not knight G5? Actually, this pawn here, he just returns with the rook. Don't know about this. Could take it with the bishop. No, that's not gonna work. Well, what to do? I mean, knight G5 is something. Knight G5, Rook F8. What am I doing? I mean, next he's going H6, so probably that's not going to work. This pawn could become under fire. He might go under about the bishop. I should probably go knight BD2. Trying to get some development in. Kind of expecting the move knight to A5 from Cello Blue here, going after the bishop. Could also take this. It's also quite worth it, so let's just recapture. So now knight A5 followed up with C5 might be an idea. Probably its best idea. Something along those lines. D5 currently, I don't think that's going to be good. D5, E5. Okay, goes knight back. Covers the G5 square, so I can't go knight to G5. There is no pressure on the E pawn currently. Knight to here, to G3, to F5 might be the way to go, so let's do it. I'm a little bit out of my mind currently, a little bit over my head. Cannot see straight on chess. Okay, now he goes after the bishop. This pawn is definitely might wants to go to C5 as well as C5 as an option. Well, I'm saving my bishop. Maybe knight here, C5, something along those lines. Well, knight to D7, if C5, D5, here's knight E5. That's probably the point of this. To go knight E5 after some moves, or D5 for that matter, but D5 blocks in the bishop. I'm fine with D5, I don't take, and I don't want him to take. So now my bishops have some scope. His bishop is dead, C5 is an option. Probably its only option. I'm not sure what to do here actually. As long as he has control over the G5 square. Well, I could try queen D3, going crude off the mate. What's that? What is he trying to do with this? And I can just simply go B3, kick him away. Could also go queen to D3. Well, F5 might be something. Not sure. Queen D3, let's say he goes G6, then I come in with the bishop. So F5 is probably the way to go for him, but then he gives me this pawn and my queen on D3 is kind of fine. So threatening a mate in 2. So either G6 or F5 are the moves here. Don't see something else. Still, I think F5 is a little bit better than G6, but I'm quite happy with my position currently. Don't think I have oh, knight F8 is something I haven't expected, but it's still working. Okay, so this knight isn't doing a whole lot. I could eliminate that bishop, maybe with knight here to here, and then go knight to this square. At some point I might have to connect rooks. So let's say C5 is coming up. Well, anyway, let's say knight G3, C5, I go there, he takes, I take, he takes, I go bishop G5 maybe, or knight G5. Still, he has to play with the c-pawn. I'm not really able to go b4 though. So let's figure it out. I mean, that g3 looks like the way to go, but I'm not that sure about leaving the knight on this square. I don't quite know. I mean, he has some kind of defensive strategy there, but I think knight to g3 should be a normal move here. Very nice setup for black as well. I think c5 should be considered. Maybe you prepare this, but probably c5 right away. Although c5 takes knight g5, he hits the rook. He hits the rook. Can I give him the rook? I personally don't think I can, but I mean, I have loads of attacking potential. Like knight coming in here, he takes the rook and knight here. Not that sure. What about knight here? Takes the rook, I take on h7. I think I should save the rook. Just go up one step, kick the bishop, prevent c5. Might be something. Not completely sure though. You should play it slow, so let's just go there. Could have also gone to d8, but I like this a bit more. If he's not going c5 now, I am quite happy with my position, because then I'm gonna go a3, b4, and then he can't go c5. Therefore this bishop will be dumb for the rest of the game. Okay, knight to here. This square is covered, so he can't fork me. Everything else is also kind of fine, so let's just kick the bishop. 8 minutes to go. Let's see what he does. I mean, a human player would have played c5 a while ago. Okay, this knight here is something. I could go c5 followed up with knight to f5. What about knight f5, c5, knight takes, let's say queen takes. Not so sure about this as long as this knight hangs around. So I think I'm gonna go b4 just to prevent c5. Just to prevent c5. f6 is probably not what he wants. He has a beautiful knight over there, but this bishop here is a little bit stupid. Well, I have more space. I have kind of some threats in the position. Goes with this. Okay. Well, if I go here, I don't really get something from doing this. I mean, I could also go bishop to g3. In hindsight, this b4 move was kind of weird. Okay. Probably knight f5 should be considered. I'm not sure. I mean, the problem is, well, let's say knight f5 he takes. Try and take on g7, or I could try give a check and cut the king off, but as long as this knight is around, those operations seem to be pretty, should I put it, pretty successful, I'd say. There are chances to win this. Maybe not. Probably I should take it. Otherwise I'm losing a pawn, figuring things out later on. We can go b5 here. Doesn't harm. Well, b5 might be a good move. Okay, he does rook takes. Fine, I should go after his bishop. I mean, there isn't, well, also after this I might have h5, h4. h5, h4 might be some kind of threat here. the king has some escape, he wins a pawn over there, but h4, h5 is coming quite quickly. Okay, wow, what? Okay, obviously I can take because my rook in the corner would hang, but what is this move doing? I don't really understand. Other than saving the bishop, but h4, h5? I don't know what to do. What to do? I mean, if h5 is coming, I pretty much have something to say about this game. What about knight g5 here? Yeah, well, knight g5. I mean, game goes on. This bishop b4, I mean, he has never gotten c5, and I think now it's too late for such things. Do I have knight takes g7, king g7? No, oh wow, he gets desperate. Gets completely mad here. Well, let's take it. Let's take it. I think he doesn't even have knight takes. Yeah, that went wrong from my opponent. That obviously went wrong. Knight takes, king takes, knight h6 takes. No, I mean I can obviously also just do different stuff. What about knight h6, pawn takes, and knight f7? I mean, there are many ways to do this. I mean, if I take, he takes with the knight, hits my queen, so I obviously don't want to do that. The most forcing approach would probably be something like knight h6 check, pawn takes and knight here, king takes, queen here check. Goes there, the bishop comes in. I think I do have this double knight sacrifice. Probably. Knight h6, knight f7. Stuff like this. So knight to f7, just completely dismantling him. Hitting the queen, everything comes kind of with tempo. This square is covered by the bishop, so there is no danger. I'm hitting the knight. The knight hangs with check, usually. Okay, well, I get this knight back. Probably. Okay, I have this check, I can take the knight, takes, bishop takes, but then the rook is hanging. Okay, queen of 6, good move, good move. I could go bishop b2. But then he grabs this with the queen, so I think I should take with check. Or just take the rook. Actually, just take the rook, why not? Takes, knight takes, queen comes in. What's the problem? Just take the rook. Simplest move in the position. Knight takes queen of 7. That should probably be bad for him, because now my bishop comes into h6. Rook might be doubling. Things play itself by now. He only has one square, so therefore should use it. Bishop h6. And let's see, he can't use that square, he has to go there, but then this check maybe, as well as doubling the rook. Well, doubling the rook, the bishop covers. But no, well, I also have this check over there. I don't know, currently, I mean, I have 4 pieces, one of them is a rook, here's 4 pieces, and yeah, the quality was on my side, though. Okay, so how to do this? I mean, obviously I also have this move, which could be fine. Also it covers the rook from a distance. What is he doing? He has knight f6 check, doesn't really do that much. Let's go after the knight. Let's go after the knight and cover the rook, because otherwise he had knight f3 check, which would take care of the rook's problem. gives up the queen, so that's pretty obvious that I'm going to win this game now. And the knight is hanging, can't really save it. Resigns. Okay, this was pretty easy actually, pretty easy victory. I don't know. Have to let this check by the engine, but I mean I made no real mistake here. Played normal kind of moves, bringing my knight to g3, and yeah, I mean this is a bit crazy. And now after h4, h5 is threatened, so he plays h5 himself, and now my knight's coming in. And here he went desperate. Knight h6, knight f7, takes the rook, coming in. Everything plays itself, and he resigned. I mean, yeah, it was kind of easy, I have to say. I don't know why. Probably because of the settings of Shallow Blue. But yeah, you will see the statistics in a second. The statistics of that game. So see you later. Ciao. Okay, let's go with the analysis of that game. I was white, and the book I gave Shallow Blue was kind of this till that moment, and yeah, I continued with a book move, knight b to d2. Yeah, kind of normal move, trying to go to f1 to g3, maybe to e3, and continue from there, maybe to f5, d5, something along those lines. And he played the first move, which wasn't a book. It's a good move. It's an equal trade, so takes, knight to d7, rerouting, knight here attacking the bishop, bishop moves, d5, usually quite a good move, but it hems in its bishop, so probably c5 was a bit better. Let's just see. Yeah, c5 of course. Okay, but this is also the reason why I played, well, sorry for this, why I played the mistake later on. So we were here, knight to d7, with a fade knight here, and I played this, again c5, queen here. What was best? Probably knight to g3, yeah. But okay, queen d3 is not bad, it keeps the advantage. So therefore he went knight f8 to cover the mate. Knight to g3, bishop here hitting the rook, rook up. Knight to g6, well this is all kind of weird what he does. I mean he's hitting the rook, but still, I mean he should probably go for something like this, rerouting, stopping knight to f5, which is a pretty huge move. And he played this, bishop there, and now knight g6. Here the thing would be again bishop back, just to cover the square right here on f5. But anyway, plays this move, and I make an inaccuracy here. Best is probably to jump in to f5 or jump in like this right away. Yeah, but okay, my move is also kind of fine. So he went back. He went back, and now I went here, which is still better for white, as you see there. And if I let the analysis like grow a bit, well, Stockfish on depth 20 is giving this as better for white, not winning. But okay, I tried to prevent the move c5, but okay, there were better moves than this, like knight coming in immediately. Okay, but anyway, there are some very nice lines. For example, if you go c5 here, you should continue with the plan h4, and if h5 is allowed, I mean, what to do? Knight back to f8, and now there is knight takes d4, and for example any move here, let's say a5, there is this knight takes, king takes, and knight to f5. Let's say, well, if you go there is knight h6 hitting this pawn with the fork. There are all kind of sacrifices in the position, as you will see in the game later on as well. But anyway, let's just go back. I played the move b4, and here he could have, he went back into the game with a5. Kind of fine, this move, and kind of, yeah, annoying. I had to take it. Didn't have to, as an equal trade, but best was probably to jump in with the knight or e6. e6 also a thematic move, for example if takes. Whereas rook takes e6, and if you take, for example, on b4, this wouldn't be too great, because rook g6, pawn g6, queen g6, and now there is everything coming at your position. Everything hangs around, and as I said, there are all kind of sacrifices in the position, and yeah, so therefore I went for this instead of this, which is same in strength. So he took with the rook, and I played knight to f5, and here is his only chance to get back into the game. He has to go for b4, trying to create a passed pawn here, or rook takes. I can't take because the rook would then be hanging, so therefore b4 is its only move. Bishop c8 may be playable as well, but lots of other moves are kind of inferior to b4 and bishop to c8. But he played like a very bad move really. Played the move bishop to b4, which is not really doing anything. I mean, it just gets the bishop out of the way so the knight can't take it. But this knight is much stronger than this bishop over there, and this bishop here is not doing anything. Of course I can take because of the rook, but other than this it's kind of a bad move anyway, so I went there, which is fine. I mean, best move would have been to jump in with the knight right away because it's protected by the bishop, which, okay. Anyway, I went here first. He prevented h4, but anyway, it's a bad position anyway. For example, he plays not this, he plays, I don't know, his bishop back, which is kind of weird. Then I would have gone for knight g5 anyway, and if he, for example, takes this, bishop g5, and let's say queen here, h5, knight back. There are all kinds of sacrifices, takes, bishop f6, king back, another queen coming to g3, only move knight here, and hg6, let's say you take with whatever, it's a mate anyway. Let's show it quickly with the h-pawn take, so now this is unstoppable. So this is one way of going about it. So okay, h5, not too bad. I mean, he doesn't really have a different choice. It's already lost, but h5 is just a beautiful way to let white the victory. I mean, other moves would have prolonged the game, but this is just completely busted right away. Here he got desperate, just gave me the knight. I mean, any other move, for example c5, there is the same combination. Knight h6, takes, and wherever the king goes, for example here, it's a mate with the bishop. This is one way of doing this, and the other way is if he goes back, you take this, force the king up, and now you go there, not there, because you want to keep an eye on this square so the bishop can deliver mate. So you go here, only square, because all those things are covered, is this one, and then bishop to here is mate. So therefore he went desperate, played this, took with the rook, same stuff, give the check, takes, and now he played this, because if he takes the knight, he's made it in 4 moves. Queen takes this, now the rook is not defended. If you go back, it's pretty bad, but it's the best move anyway. If you cannot even defend the rook. If you go here, for example, rook takes e5, only squares this one. You could go there, but anyway, this. And now bishop comes in, and that's it. And the alternative to this is, of course, to go there and be mated like this anyway. And if you go to f8 immediately, it doesn't change the picture, you just snap this off, and then you take the rook, and then you deliver mate. So, yeah, this is just one line of doing this, and therefore he went queen f6, but now I just snapped the rook. If he takes with the queen is lost, so he took with the knight. Now my queen comes in, now my bishop comes in, and now my bishop hits the queen, defends the rook from a distance, so there is no knight f6 discovery on the rook. And if he moves the rook, if he moves the queen, let's say any square, it doesn't really matter, let's say it goes here, then for example anything wins. Rook takes, king d7, and now you have those kind of discoveries to win the queen, at least. So, and there are all sorts of mates in the position, so this is not really worth it. Therefore, after bishop to g7 he took, and after I recaptured, he resigned, because it's not only the material, it's also the very weak king, but it all doesn't matter. I mean, this is completely lost. It's mate in 6 with best play. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. See you later. Ciao.